They're a very close-knit community. And even when we had the Back to Kiandra in 1990, there were about several hundred, probably over 1,000 people came back over the 2 days, and they were all people who had descended from Kiandra families, and we just all met in as though we'd never been away. It was amazing. Well, I'm very proud of my heritage, and I think the Kiandra people did a wonderful job, and it's nice to go up and walk around and go to the different sites. Well, they were a good family. I mean, I was very lucky. I had good parents and a great association with my grandparents, both my mother's parents and my father's parents, and also the extended family, like all the extended Harris family, have always been friends and visited one another, and the same with my mother's side on the Taylor side. We've always been in touch and visited and things like that, which gives you a real closeness with your family. We had a real close extended family connection, I suppose you would call it. Well, Robert Harris is buried there. He's right up on top of the hill. Actually, when he knew he was dying, it was his wish to be buried on the hill across from the slaughter yard. And then the Annesley Harris that's there, he was Oliver Harris's son. And there's 2 Sutherland boys there. They were my grandmother's half-brothers. One died in at Pimbian, which is this side of Yarrangobillion down in towards Lobbs Hole, and it took about 20 men. They came and carried him out and took him back to Kiandra to bury him. The other boy, they were running horses, and he came home with cramps and vomiting and that in the stomach, and I don't know what the cause of death was, but it's probably what we'd call appendicitis now. But I mean, in the 1870s, there was no such thing as appendicitis. So they are buried there, and then 2 of my grandmother's little babies are buried at Kiandra, but they don't have headstones. It was a bit like the Klondike. It was the highest goldfields in Australia, and with the cold winters and that, and when they had the little Church of the Ascension, it was the highest church in Australia, the highest up church in Australia. I think the people that worked and lived in Kiandra in those conditions were a special breed of people. They had to be to survive there, especially those who came in the early days, because there was absolutely nothing. And I mean, to try and get anything in to build, for building materials, well, it had to come by bullock wagon from wherever with no roads, and it was mainly slab buildings or pit-sawn timber and shingle roofs for a beginning. I'd love to see the courthouse restored back to its original condition. It would be a real monument probably to the Kiandra people, because it's been there. It was built in 1890.